ball pressure that you guys had 2 years ago, getting it back consistently, how much of that has to happen in training camp? Because it seems like that's where so many identities are kind of built.
I mean, that's a mindset, I think. You know, that sets the tone for the whole team, and that sets the tone for the other team. So I think it's a good reflection of our level of consistency, and you know, if we do that every single second on the floor, it shows that we know what we're here for.
How do you go about instilling that? Everybody says they want to do it, but what are the practices like in camp of making sure that everybody is being upheld to that standard of getting involved?
I think holding each other accountable. You know, there's always moments when you might not do it as much, and that's when your teammates got to be there to talk to you and remind you who we are and what we're trying to accomplish.
This team wants to get out and transition more this year. When it comes to your role in that, what are the main ways that you can affect that and get that jump start?
Running, rebounding. I think the 5 guys, whoever doesn't get the rebound should run, and there's going to be one guy pushing and one guy with the ball, but then all the 4 other guys should run.
When you see the second unit out there without you, what are they missing, and how would you address it?
I think obviously when I'm not out there, it changes a little bit who we are defensively. So we have to, all 5 guys on the floor needs to be aware of the difference when I'm there and when I'm not there. And obviously when I'm not there, it requires even more low man, probably a little more rotation. So I thought we got better at it over the years, last year over the season. But this year we can get better at that.
So do you think it's rim protection? How do you make ball pressure on the perimeter and also protect the rim when you have the kind of personnel that you have without you on the floor?
I think you get ball pressure doesn't mean that you letting the guy go by you. I think ball pressure, controlled ball pressure, means that you are bothering the ball and making the ball feel you. And then obviously we try not, if you're gonna get beat, better to get beat baseline. That means that we can have a clean rotation. Whether if you get beat left and right, it makes it more complicated for our rotations, and it gives more options to the guy with the ball.
Rudy, last season, when you came back from the back, offensively and in the playoffs, it seemed like you were more in the role of an offensive rebounder, kind of flat on the baseline a little bit more than being an on-ball screener as you have maybe been in previous years. What does that balance need to look like between being a menace on the offensive glass and the dunker versus the primary screener?
I think just the feel. I felt like I was more aggressive on the balls. You probably got all the numbers, but I don't feel like I was setting less ball screens. I think maybe I was less in no man's land. I was more decisive, and I was also, I would say I had more of a purpose offensively, regardless of sending a ball screen or running the floor, spacing, or even ducking in, whatever it was. I think I had more purpose, and I was more, I feel like I was more stronger on the glass, which created a lot of offensive possessions for us.
So it's more like purpose rather than position?
I think it's more being decisive and try to not be in no man's land too much. When I set the ball screen, it's great for us. Now after I set the ball screen, sometimes I can come and I can linger too much, and then that's when it can get clogged up a little bit. But I think once I started cleaning that up, it was easier for my teammates, and it was easier for me, and it was harder for the defense.
Rudy, Mike touched on the team dinner last night and the championship messaging around the dinner. How much does that message resonate with you?
I think about it every day. So a lot. I think for us to understand what we're playing for and to visualize what we're playing for, it's really important, from the guy that cleans the locker room to the star player. I think everyone in this organization needs to understand what we're trying to accomplish.
Mike was just in here talking about kind of structuring the fast break a little bit more, where he's the outlet and the other 3 are running. I mean, I seem to remember back when you were in Utah with Mike and even before, you guys had pretty good fast break numbers. Is it just as simple as kind of getting that structure in where Mike's running the break, or do you feel like there's something else that needs to happen for you and Mike to kind of get that rhythm back?
I think being dedicated to run. I remember in Utah, the first few years, they were putting tape in the corners, and they were forcing every single guy to sprint to the corner. You know, almost not even look at the ball, just sprint to the corner every single possession, and then it became a habit. It became something that, you know, whether you're fresh or you're tired, you're going to do it because you built that habit. And I think for us, we have an opportunity to build these habits from today. I think there's so much, coach would say, meat on the bone that we can get from doing these things.
So do you feel like it is more habit versus like game plan scheme then?
I think it's more habits.
Okay.
You know, habits. You know, we sometimes kind of like guys want to stay lingering to try to get the ball, and you have 2 or 3 guys asking for the ball, and you miss that fast break opportunity because defense is going to run back at some point. So if you don't sprint and get to a spot, you know, you waste opportunities to get easy buckets.
Talk about continuity a lot. Is that one of the biggest advantages, especially when you get into camp, is that you can hammer in on 2 or 3 things to make them your identity versus trying to find out answers to questions that you don't have yet?
I mean, you know, in everything you do, I think continuity is connected to chemistry. You know, there's things that when you go through some adversity, when you go through tough moments and good moments too with a group of guys, obviously it builds something, creates something, and for us, like, it creates like habits, you know, automatism that we get, you know, finding each other, knowing how to space for each other, defensively, knowing like how to talk to your teammate, how to push your teammate, who your teammate is. I think these things, obviously, when you see the Western Conference Finals and it's Game 5, and you know you're going through some adversity, I think that's when you need that. You know, that's when that shows. When everything goes well, obviously not as much, but I think that's what separates last year. I think that's what separated OKC than us, and that's what separated even Indiana. I thought they were there. I thought Indiana and OKC were the 2, you know, closest together team. It seemed like.
2 years running, you and Nas have had the best 2-man defensive numbers when you 900 minutes. What is it about you and Nas working together? Why are you good defensively?
I mean, I think Nas is a very good defender. You know, for him, it's about being consistent with it. And I thought my first year here, I thought he was falling too much, and he's, you know, I really try to help him on that, you know, because it's not easy. You know, try to protect the rim, and the way the rules are called, you know, you have a lot of guys coming at you, and he's got a lot better. You know, he's got a lot better, and try to keep that physicality, but also being able to read what's going on, so you don't fall as much. And I thought the year you're talking about, I thought it was really, really good. Last year, I think maybe because our defense wasn't as good overall, maybe that impacted that too. But I think we have the potential to be very, very good.
Rudy, with some of the things you guys talked about, whether it's increasing the ball pressure, getting out transition, sprinting to the corners, things like that, it all sounds like it's going to require a lot of effort and energy. So just when it comes from that standpoint of dedicating effort and energy on a night-in, night-out basis, where do you sense the team is at in terms of what that's going to require if you want to improve in all of these areas?
As good as I've ever sensed our team. You know, we know that our talent is there, but I think now it's really clear that the little thing that separates us from conference final to a championship is those details, those boring details. You know, the things that whoever watched the game is not going to text you, "Oh, you ran great to the corner," or "You did a great job boxing out." You know, like your homie is not going to talk about this, but I might get you a championship, and then you know, I think that tops everything. So it's I think we now understand that. We now understand how important it is, and we're gonna try to build that from. I mean, we started today. Today was great. Now we gotta do it every day and build those habits. So when it's game 60 and there's a little fatigue, and you're having a rough night, you still do those little things and still able to win those games. Even the games when we don't make shots or we don't play as well.
Could you tell in camp 2 years ago that it was going to be a really great defensive team?
Yes. But we were great, but we still had margin for improvement, which was pretty impressive.
You've talked about Ant improving every year. You talked about how he added this in previous seasons. What do you want to see Ant add or improve this season?
I think for him, it's all about what we just talked about. The little things, the consistency, the maturity, getting to the next play. This is what's gonna take him from a really, really good player to a unique, all-time great player, I think. And this is what's gonna, I think, allow him to be the best in the world, impacting winning. And I really sense that he understands that now, and for him, I think the shape that he's in now, so I think it's the best shape that I've seen him in. And I think when he's more tired, he's more likely to slip. We all do, right? When you're tired, everything is worse. So I think he understands that his recovery, his sleep, the way he eats, all these things are really going to impact his success and our success as a team. And it's fun to see that. It's good to see. I mean, I've been on it for a few years, but it's fun to see that. That is, to me, this is clear maturity, and he's still really young. But just to watch that he understands that now, and he carries himself that way, it's going to come a big way, a long way for us.